Okay, my journal theme is Natural Inquiry of Fathers of Young Children with Disability of a Parent Experience. I'm Yoo Gang. I'm assistant professor of Changsha University. Is my journalist introduction is the family is the most effective and one organizational unit that promotes the child growth and development and active participation of family members play a decisive role in the growth of the child. However, teacher studies on parental involvement in a disadvantaged father have been focused on the involvement of father in rearing only as ancillary for variables affecting mother stress. The purpose of this study is to find out the meaning of the father's role in the education of children with disabilities and the meaning of the father's raising children with disabilities. For this purpose, I would like to know what kind of father's experience or father's parenting experience, what kind of perception is his father's role and what his meaning is. In order to investigate his father's experience and perceptions more deeply, he tried to investigate through relative inquiry. The reason for this is that the father's experience of nursing is not a fixed, static state but a dynamic process that changes continuously. So a new method of inquiry is needed. The following is a research question for achieving this object. How does a father with a disability experience child care, and what's the meaning of the parenting experience? Second is research method. My journal research method is the narrative inquiry. This study was conducted from April 1, 28 to July 30, 2028, and proceeded to the 5 stages of the narrative inquiry process of the connelling and cleaning. But in reality, these steps overlap with each year. And through second, collecting data and data analysis. That collection of this study was done through interview data and journal of research participants. In-depth interviews were conducted with core group interview. In-depth interviews were conducted in total of 35 sessions for each participant and 5 sessions for core group interviews. The study journal records of the difficulties that the researcher and research participant felt after the interview or the process of the research, the stories they wanted to share in the interviews, and the experience they had during the nursing process of children with disabilities. And the process of data analysis in this study is as follows. Firstly, from the beginning of the ends of research, the collected data was then output and repeatedly read. Keywords were recorded by marking the important sentences or words with a highlighter. Secondly, in the course of the reading the collected data, the keywords that were already 5 records were tied to similar characteristics. Third, the field text extracted by the flow of the time are read repeatedly, and subordinate items are extracted considering the logical relation of the text, and narrative patterns and narrative stories are described focusing on the subordinated. Fourth, we analyzed the meaning of raising children based on the story of 5 disabled children fathers. Third, result. Narrative about the parent experience shows the 5 the main category. First, a narrative about the environment. Second, narrative for teachers. Third, narrative for a friend. Four, narrative about time. And next is conclusion. The purpose of this study to investigate the experience of the father rearing parents who have been children with disabilities and to find out what rearing experience have on them. The conclusion based on research are as follows. Firstly, the types of fathers fostering through various parent experience varied. For fathers with low expectation for their children, it is necessary to support them in order to overcome the difficulties of parenting by positively recognizing the problem and acquiring the skill to solve them. Second, the effect of the children's disability of the father shows various tendencies. Although she considered that she is less affected by psychological and emotional problems than her mother, her father also has psychological problems such as chronic anxiety. Third, the perception level of father's role perceived by fathers varied. Although there were a difference in a recognition level, they were actively participating in the education of their children and were spending a lot of time, such as holidays and working hours, with the families. Follow-up research is suggested to read the limitation of this study based on of the finding. In this study, we did not reveal the relationship between the types of disability of the child and perception of the role of the father according to severity of the disability. In the future, I would like to study the father's experience and role perception according to age of the child. Thank you.